Nothing was spared to prove your love for me. Oh, the mystery.
Good morning, everyone. I hope you are all having a really lovely week. It's Tuesday this morning, and we are back to spending some time together thinking about our theme on changes. Lots and lots of changes going on at the minute. You now all know who your new teachers are and which class you are going to be in next year. We're going to carry on thinking and exploring the theme today. We're going to start our worship by lighting our candle, and as we do, we're going to say, Jesus is the light of the world. Shine, Jesus, shine. There we go, we've got our candle in the background there. We're going to start our worship by singing One Way, which I know lots of you really, really love, and it's one with lots of action. So I want to see you up dancing around, joining in with worship.
My life down at your feet. You're the only one I need. I turn to you and you are always there. In troubled times it's you I see. I put you first, that's all I need. I humble all I am, all to you.
I'm sure lots and lots of you were jumping around, joining with the actions and belting out the words to One Way. I'm going to play a theme tune now to a really popular TV show. I want you to have a guess. see if you can figure out what TV show it might be. If you're watching Worship from home, maybe your grown-ups will know what it is.
Humble King, you chose the road that led to suffering.
I wonder if you got it or if any of your grown-ups did. I love watching this programme, and this programme is called 60-Minute Makeover. 60-Minute Makeover is a TV programme where some presenters and some builders and plasterers and electricians come into a house and do a really quick makeover of a house for somebody. They've got 60 minutes, so they've got an hour to do it. So it's a really quick, immediate change. Here now on the screen are some pictures of the before and after pictures of what a house might look like. Sometimes when the owner comes back, they absolutely love it. Other times they're in shock and they're not really too keen on things that have been changed. Obviously, the person whose house has been changed didn't know what was going to happen. So they might try sometimes to remain polite on camera, and you can tell that they're wincing a little bit and feeling a bit awkward because actually they don't like the new lounge or the new kitchen or the colour of the paint on the wall or the colour of the carpet or the flooring that's gone down or some of the furniture. And they can find the change difficult to handle. I want you to think about some times when we experience changes. Now, life isn't always like 60-Minute Makeover, but there are other changes going on around us all of the time. Are there any that you can particularly think of at this time of year that are going on? I'm sure you thought of loads. At the minute, times are changing. Things are opening back up and we are coming out of lockdown, and there are lots and lots of changes all around us. I've noticed there's lots more cars on the road. People are going back to work. Schools are going to be reopening. You can now go in clothes shops, go and have a haircut. I know loads of you have had a haircut already. I've been spotting lots of new haircuts in school. Some of you haven't had your haircut yet, and there's still some long hairstyles, but things are slowly beginning to go back to normal. Although they have still changed from what they were like before we locked down. So there have been some changes. Soon you are going to be going into a new class, into a new year group, and once again, all of those things involve lots of change. We've thought previously about whether or not change is always positive. I'm going to play a song for you now, which is all about struggling with change. And I want you to listen really carefully to the lyrics in this song. And you'll see that somebody's struggling to adapt to the changes going on around them. People moving away, friendship groups adapting. And as you listen, I want you to challenge yourself to reflect upon how you feel about change.
Humble King, you chose the road that led to suffering.
Change can be really, really scary. It's the fear of the unknown. We don't know what life is going to look like when there are big changes in our life. We're used to things being the same, and if you're like me, you probably like your routine. So when things change, that can be quite scary. It can make us feel anxious. It can make us feel scared. It can actually, though, make us feel really excited and positive about the future. And I know you spent some time last week in worship with Mrs. Bileswood coming up with a whole range of different words to describe how change makes us feel. I'm going to share with you now some thoughts from two religious thinkers and share with you a couple of quotes that they came up with during their life. The first quote is from John Henry Newman, and it says, "To live is to change, and to be perfect is to have changed often." And what this really means is to progress and improve and to have a really successful life. We have to adapt to change, and we have to accept that changes are going to happen. Things aren't going to remain the same. And to actually have lived a full life, you will have experienced lots and lots of change. The second quote is from Gandhi, and it says, "You must be the change you want to see in the world." This means that change in the world starts with us. If we want positive things to happen in our world, we must take action and change ourselves. If we want to be better people and to shape ourselves to be better, only we can do this. However, we know that this takes time. It's not a 60-minute makeover. There was a man in the Bible called Abraham, and the Lord spoke to Abraham, and he said, "Go forth from your country and from your relatives and from your father's house to the land which I will show you, and I will make you a great nation, and I will bless you and make your name great, and so you shall be a blessing, and I will bless those who bless you, and the one who curses you I will curse, and in you all the families of earth will be blessed." God challenged Abraham to uproot and leave his country, which would have been a massive change. He had to leave, go and live in a foreign land that he didn't know, which would have caused great pain. He'd have had fear of living in a different culture with different language and different traditions. He would have had to leave his relatives, his home where he'd grown up, and all of his friends. He would have been leaving the security of his home for the unknown place God was sending him to. All things that could have stopped Abraham going. But we can look at the blessings that came from Abraham making that change. His name and family would be great. God would give him many descendants. The world would be blessed through him. Abraham considered the change and examined the pain and decided that the blessings were worth it. Today, Abraham is called the father of all those who have faith, as Paul says in Galatians 3 verse 7. "Therefore, be sure that it is those who are of faith who are sons of Abraham." What a blessing it would be to be remembered in such a way. Sometimes we have to step outside of our comfort zone. Change is going to happen, and we have to move with it, and the blessings can really outweigh the pain. We can remember that God is on our side, like Abraham did. I know last week I shared with you our school verse, which is all about God knowing the plans for all of our lives, meaning that we don't need to worry about the changes going on around us because God has each of our lives in his hand and a plan for all of us. I want to share with you now another verse which I find really comforting, and it's from Hebrews 13 verse 12, and it says, "Jesus Christ is the same yesterday and today and forever." Jesus Christ is the same yesterday and today and forever. In times when we are feeling anxious and scared about changes going on around us, we know that Jesus is always there for us. And he always will be. Yesterday he was there, today he's here with us, and he will be tomorrow and forevermore. So even though things are changing around us, we can depend on God and on Jesus to always be there for us. There's another verse I want to share with you from Joshua 1 verse 9, and you might notice and recognise some of the words that are in this verse. It says, "Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." I'm sure you recognise those words from be bold, be strong, which means that we don't need to be anxious and we don't need to be worried. We can be strong and we can be courageous because the Lord your God is with us wherever we go. Remember what Gandhi said about when we want to see the change in the world, it has to come from us. We're going to have a time of reflection now this morning, thinking about the changes that are going on around us outside school and inside school. Change happens in life. Although it presents us with challenges, it can also be a chance to learn, grow and develop. All really, really positive things. We can also be the change in our world by changing our own attitudes and actions, the way we are towards other people, acting in a way that we would want to be treated. Take a moment to imagine today as a blank page, a fresh start, a chance to make a change to your life. What changes do you want to make today?
Humble King, you chose the road that led us up.
Okay, I'm going to say a prayer, and if you want to make the prayer your own today, you can say Amen at the end. Dear Lord, we thank you that each day you give us a fresh start, a new day with new opportunities to change, grow and develop. Sometimes it's hard when our situation changes, but please help us to find the strength to cope with difficult changes today. Give us wisdom to learn from change. Help us today to make positive changes to our attitudes and actions so that we might help to change our world for the better. Amen. We've come to the end of our worship time together this morning. And as we end our worship, we're going to blow out the candle and we're going to say, Jesus is the light of the world, a light no darkness can put out. I want you to take that verse from Hebrews with you today that says, Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today and forever. Someone that we can always depend on.